Don't care about being right. There's so much more.
Welcome to episode 57 of Relics of Ore. I'm joined today by Coehl.
Howdy.
And we have several special guests today. We've first got Skullington from the Relics of Ore Guild. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Skullington?
Alright, a little bit about myself. I am from Arizona. Played Guild Wars 2, lots of other MMOs. First MMO was Star Wars Galaxies. Kind of an odd one to start off with, before the NGE. And my favorite color is blue.
Why don't you tell them why we're referring to you by your moniker?
Oh, I also have the same name as Ryan. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Only attractive individuals have the name of Ryan. So as not to be confusing, just call me Scully.
Yes.
Like a gentleman.
And we're also joined by Malchior from Guild Mag and various other sites.
From just about everywhere.
Yeah.
If you've been a part of the Guild Wars 2 community and you haven't seen Malchior somewhere, you haven't really been in very many places. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to and sort of your history with Guild Wars, Malchior?
Oh, sure. In the past, I've done Guild Mag and the Guild Mag podcast, done Guild Wars 2 Live, also constantly supporting the Gaming World Entertainment Network. Basically just dipped my hand into anything Guild Wars 2 because I knew what this game would be from the beginning, and I'm just so pumped up about it. And right now, I finally have no community projects, and I can just kick back, relax, and enjoy the game.
And occasionally get hauled into various podcasts.
Oh, I always love podcasting. I'm finally glad that someone was starting up again. That way I could jump on.
Now it's good to have you aboard. Let's go ahead and jump right into Guild Wars Adventures and talk about what we've been up to in Guild Wars of late. Let's go ahead and start in reverse order with Malchior.
Well, I still only have one level 80, my engineer, who I freaking love to death, because infinite vigor to dodge infinite number of times is OP.
How did you achieve that?
You do trait 3 in the firearms line, infused precision. Anytime you crit, you get swiftness 5 seconds, and then you do trait 1 in the alchemy line. I can't remember what it's called. Anytime you get swiftness, you get 5 seconds of vigor. So already, if you're constantly attacking, you constantly have vigor. And then I take speedy kits, trait 6, and tools. So when I swap kits, I get swiftness. So I have infinite swiftness and infinite vigor.
I'll be right back, rolling an engineer.
Yeah. See you guys. Show's over.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Trade 1, right?
Another 2 converted.
And that has been your pro tip for the day as well, for those of you that don't know about it. So what have you been up to, Skullington?
I think I did the Halloween event. Halloween event was fun. I farmed that Halloween event.
Did you beat the clock tower?
I beat the clock tower. I beat
Yes!
the clock tower.
Tower.
After
Yes!
5.5 hours, I beat the clock tower.
I did it in about 3 or 4, so I'm
got-
with you there.
I got a dorkable little slippers, and I was like, oh, there must be a rest of a set. I went onto the trading post, and I'm like, hopefully it won't be that. Oh, so I just have the shoes.
It actually got really inexpensive right before they closed the Mad King Thorn fight.
Do you know why?
Because it was flooding the market.
And it was not an original set.
Ah.
Yeah, it was the level 40 set, but it had really cool runes in it. But you couldn't disenchant it, but whatever. So I didn't get it. But yeah, I beat the clock tower. It was fun. The Halloween event was fun. I enjoyed going door to door, knocking across Gandharan fields with the Zerg. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to get another character to 100% world completion.
Good luck.
Which basically makes me a masochist. I hate myself.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I'll join you with that. I got 2 alts I'm working on.
How many legendaries do you plan on getting as well? Since you're that insane.
None. No legendaries. They're such a waste of time. I'll do dungeons. Is that controversial? Oh no. But like that just seems like such a grind fest to me. And I know eventually that the mats will probably be easier to get in future expansions and the skins will just be as cool.
They actually just had a news or a forum post where it was Colin or John Peters wrote and said, yeah, we know that legendaries are more focused on how much money you have right now as opposed to your actual capabilities in game. So they're looking at changing it to make it more based on playing the game and not how much money have you made off of the auction house.
Sweet.
So
and that's the kind of
they better not
change
change.
I'm waiting for.
They better not change the materials though. They can change like the method to get those materials, but I already got my Bloodstone Shard. Already got my Gift of Battle. Already got my Gift of Exploration. If they just all of a sudden say, we'll just throw those 3 out the window.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of
Those
mad.
are unimportant.
I would assume that they'd probably be looking at changing how you get the base weapon, and
Please.
because that's just insane right now. And I'm not sure. Maybe the Gift of Luck with
Fortune?
the clovers. Fortune. Is that
Yeah,
what it's called?
the Mystic Clovers, I think is what they're
Yeah.
called. Those are really hard to get.
I got 40 of them. I'm almost there.
Holy smokes!
I don't know what you guys are talking about. The clovers?
I gotta get my base.
Have you seen the? If just go check out. There's a lot of flowcharts. Look up a legendary weapon flowchart. And there's a bunch of them online. You just Google that for Guild Wars 2, and it'll show you like all of the components that are necessary. It's ridiculous the amount of components. It's kind of cool because the majority of them, I'd say, like the gifts, except for the Gift of Fortune, are based on playing the game. But the Gift of Fortune is, what is it? It's like an ectoplasm, a mystic coin.
A stack of if you want the Gift of Fortune, a stack of ectoplasms, 77 mystic clovers, and a stack of each tier 6 crafting material.
So there you go.
You're like a reference-finding guru, aren't you, Malchior? Like, no sooner had I said, what's a clover? It's like, boom, there's this nice little link with all this information.
He's almost like a Guild Wars 2 guru.
I know where to go on the internet. My mind doesn't always keep up with all the facts, but it's like, oh, legendary wiki. There you go, Ryan.
Here we go.
That's true. I suppose looking it up on the wiki is usually going to pan out well.
He's the emissary of the wiki. He's an extension of it.
Oh, I may have to change your lower third to say Malchior, Guild Wars 2 wiki.
No.
The walking wiki.
No. I already had that title in Guild Wars 1.
Walk-in wiki? Does that have to do with Christopher Walken? Is that what we're talking about?
Only if he talks like Christopher Walken for the rest of the show.
You're talking my boy all wrong.
So,
Right in the face.
Mr. Walken, what have you been up to in Guild Wars 2?
Yes, please.
As you can see, No Shave November has come. I was clean shaven for the Joker thing. I just want to point that out. Anybody who doubted my manliness because of this. No, but anyway.
No, we just
moving on.
doubted your manliness in general because of...
I just drew attention to it. No, but anyway, it was a very busy week for us actually. So I think the most I've logged on was this morning, and we did like 2 TA runs, and before that this week I've done like nothing at all in the game. And so I wanted to talk about why that's actually a good thing, at least in my eyes, and that's because when I played other MMOs, if you took that time off, you were worried that everybody else was going to start finding other people for their typical groups for dungeons or raids or whatever, or that your guild was going to start losing confidence in this or that because they've lost out on their chance to get these badges that they intended to get that day because the cycle is going to reset in 6 months. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But with this game, it's like, I need a week off, and so nobody does, like, you're not losing out on the subscription or anything like that, and it was a real nice, novel feeling. So, yeah. Didn't play much this week, and proud of it. But as you're going to see, we're going to be talking about the Lost Shores here in a little bit. I'm going to be, like, useless. I'm going to try and, like, give jokes as best I can just to comment on what you're saying because I have no clue what's really happening. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you, Mr. Walken Joker Cole.
Yes.
I've actually been doing I almost put in Trader Arcade for XCOM this week because after the amount of time I put in during the Halloween event in Guild Wars 2, I needed a significant amount of a week off because I was like, you know what? I played myself a little bit out on it for that week. So I went and I played a bunch of XCOM. Yeah. You guys familiar?
Woo!
It's great.
Yeah.
Turn-based
It's
strategy. You should play it if you like turn-based strategy at all. But I did get in, and I managed to, slowly but surely, I managed to get my second 80 finally with my Elementalist. So that was fun.
So you have 280s, so it's official. You have the least life of all of us here right now.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
good.
my life right now is, let's see, work, Guild Wars 2, this show, a few other things. But yeah, no, I probably have the least life of anyone here.
Should.
Achievement unlocked.
Yes.
But yeah, so I've been working on that. Most of it was crafting. But
Which
it was pretty
on
good.
On the panels here, which direction are you from me, Shongaqu?
I am to your right.
This way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ladies, there's a single man right here. And apparently he's just admitted that he has the least life out of all of us. I invite you to help us with this.
How you doing?
Ladies.
Hey, we've had a decent amount
I don't
of
know
success
that
with this issue.
that might be more of a warning against it. It's like, oh my goodness, here's this guy who plays Guild Wars 2 all the time, total nerd, does a show about it. Man.
Well, hey,
No, I-
know. You could have fangirls.
You just picked up the fangirl. Yeah.
That and the matter of fact is that guys who play games are more likely to meet somebody than guys who join dating sites by a significant margin.
That's
So,
true. I've seen that study.
Yeah.
Really?
It's pretty cool.
Well, there we
So
go.
keep gaming, man.
You'll find her
Keep
eventually.
going, bro.
Yeah.
You will find her.
Hey, you know, what I'll do is I'll do this show, keep doing this show, get to PAX next year or something, and then you know
Yeah.
you guys can all you attractive women can start stalking me.
I'm the only unavailable guy here, huh?
No, I think you're married, aren't you, Malchior? Or
No.
oh, okay.
There you
Wow,
go.
hey, look,
I just gave you your competition too.
man,
But
dang
aren't
it.
you glad I'm here right now?
Dim be fighting words.
It's on now. Oh,
Where were we?
I don't know.
I've derailed us
Content.
sufficiently, haven't I?
I think we were
Content,
talking about what was
content.
going on in Guild Wars 2. So yeah, that's been I got my Elementalist up. I've been playing a little bit with Shongaqu, just slowly but surely working on 100% for him. I haven't 100% the world with Shongaqu yet, so that's my main. And I've been started a Mesmer because I need to do portals before they get nerfed through the floor.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing that right now. I have one too, and I'm just like, I just want to do some portals for a little while.
Oh, that would, yeah. I'm gonna be a little bit sad if they just remove the skill altogether, because that'd be disappointing. We'll see. We shall see. I hope that that's not a prophetic statement. I think I cut you off actually at one point, Malchior. Do you have anything else that you've been up to that you wanted to share with the viewers?
Trying to finish my legendary. I'm patient, but I need my precursor soon.
What are you going for? Which one?
I'm going for the rifle.
Okay.
Oh, Predator? Nice.
The Predator. I've actually I caught a dev in game once, and I asked him, it's like, okay, all the other stuff has like cool animation stuff. What's the animation for the Predator? I'm an engineer, and he's like, oh, well, it turns like your grenades into plasma grenades, and they have a different sound effect.
Wait, it changes your grenades?
It changes my grenades.
It
Changes your
changes your
grenades?
skill kit. That's
It doesn't change the
kinda-
skill kit, it changes the animation.
Well, but right, it doesn't change like what they do. But that's pretty cool that it goes to such in depth that it changes a skill kit's animation. I didn't realize they did that.
If I spent that much time on a weapon, I'd want it to change my skill kit.
That's a good point.
Well,
He's gonna get
it's
reported
it's
for
It's
hacking.
a sniper rifle, for goodness sakes. It's not like a warrior's gonna get much use out of it. It's made for an MG.
Isn't it like doesn't it shoot like lasers and stuff? I saw a video of
I
it.
have no idea.
It does look pretty awesome.
I'm kind of saving the surprise.
Man, that's wow. Now
That'd be funny.
Has anyone seen any animations for the scepter yet? Because that's what I'm gonna go for.
Meteorologicus? Oh, no.
The scepter?
Yeah.
No. I know the
'Cause I
staff
don't think-
shoots rainbows.
Yeah, staff shoots rainbows.
I'm
The-
excited about that as a necromancer. It just makes absolutely no sense.
The short,
I'm a
short bow shoots unicorns farting rainbows.
What I'm curious about with that unicorn rainbow bow of doom is, does it affect every particle from the thief's cluster bomb?
That would be interesting.
Because you shoot it up, it goes up, and it's the cluster bomb, but then you hit the cluster, and then
Unicorns
it
are
like
dead.
splits into like 6 things. It would be like this nuke of rainbows.
They'd have to call it like the fabulous sparkle bomb.
Or imagine someone with Bifrost using, does it turn your meteor shower into a rainbow shower?
I have no idea. An elementalist with Bifrost, or like a thief with the Dreamer. Post that on YouTube now.
You'd have no idea what was going on. You'd just be walking along, all of a sudden, rainbow death!
I just wanted to change my marks as a necromancer so that it just explodes in happiness and joy rainbows of doom.
And it should make sounds that are like from a Pink Floyd album. As
Be
it
like,
does
ha 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 ha, and then everybody dies, and you're just like, okay. Kind of like the pyro video from Team Fortress 2. Everybody's dying in flame, but in his eyes, it's all just happy and fluffy and rainbows and cute children.
Oh
Great.
no. That would make a, how many people are afraid of rainbows, though? That'd be
everyone.
Apparently everyone.
Everyone who's ever been on the internet now. What does it mean?
Oh my goodness. Making people run from rainbows. That's what the Necro does with Bifrost. Or Bifrost. Is it Bifrost or Bifrost?
I have no idea.
I'm guessing
call it Bifrost.
Bifrost?
Because I think it's Norwegian, isn't it? Or Scandinavian from somewhere. I mean, it's the bridge to Asgard.
Who's gonna look it up first?
It's
Me.
beef roast.
Bifrost?
Beef roast.
Is that what's
Is it
for
what-
dinner?
It is Bifrost.
Beef
That was a-
roast.
That was a
What's
good
for dinner?
Skyrim accent. That was fantastic.
That's funny. It is Bifrost. I'm looking at the
Bifrost.
pronunciation right now.
There we go.
Wait, really? It's beef roast?
Yes.
We call it roast beef?
Bifrost. Yes.
The pronunciation. Let me see. I'm on. La 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 la.
I mean, it's Bifrost, but it's
Oh,
that was
yeah.
Bifrost, but
Since it is it's Norse mythology, a burning rainbow bridge that reaches between Midgard and Asgard, the realm of the gods.
A
And it's-
burning rainbow bridge.
A burning rainbow bridge.
they're
And it's-
Viking gods. I mean, really, how else are you gonna do it? Someone's like, "Ooh, we're gonna have a rainbow bridge. Set it on fire, men, and then we'll march across it, because that's what Vikings do." They do
And I can
not.
tell you-
They do not go halfway with this.
I can tell you it's not Ost because it's got the German. I forget the name for that symbol, but the
Umlaut?
double dots, and that's A through O. That's Bifrost.
I was trying to be funny when I said
Oh
that. 'cause I was
man, we
thinking
need to
beef
get
roast, but cool.
we need to get Christian to pronounce it now, since we know that it's got an umlaut, and he speaks German.
Well, my
We'll
bad.
get around to that. I'll like cut in, and he'll be all of a sudden saying it. I don't know, whatever.
The Bifrost of Rainbow Doom.
I hope it
There we go.
immolates people in sparkles.
Sounds great.
Oh, all right. We'll go ahead and move on to the news now. So we've got actually a fair amount of news. A bunch of information has come out about Lost Shores over the last week. There's been an interview with Pocket on MMORPG.com. They interviewed Colin Johansson, and quite a bit of interesting information. And we also have an official schedule for the Lost Shore event. Who's familiar with that?
Only
Um,
from the official.
I believe it starts at noon on Friday. Something big happens on Saturday to change the world. And then there'll be a finale on Sunday. Which
One
you totally
time.
have to be there for.
One time only finale. That's what they've made big. You have to be there Sunday or you won't see it again.
Well, or you'll just YouTube it.
Or that.
The only
Just-
thing you'll see are the tears falling from your eyes.
No, the tears falling from Ryan's eyes.
Why are we crying? Because would we be crying because all of Destiny's Edge will spontaneously combust at the end of it?
I wouldn't be crying.
I'd be doing a little happy dance.
Well, they're always crying, so I think everyone else will be happy when they're gone.
Woo!
Everyone was thinking it.
Except for Ritlock. I think a lot of people would be crying if Ritlock died.
Ritlock's kind of a gangster.
Yeah. So that might be a little bit sad. Poor guy.
They should just thin it out and make Ritlock the boss, man. Make him the only one.
It's true. I mean, he's able to run an entire legion or subsection of the Char. I don't even know. I mean, he probably could manage the group. I mean, Air just sits around and she's like, oh, I feel sorry for myself. I'm going to make some more art. I'm a tortured artist, but I'm supposed to kill all the dragons.
I'm a tortured artist. That's the first time I've actually thought of that persona being related to her.
It's maybe not
it's
in
totally
the actual.
all there, and
oh yeah,
and that's why I'm stunned that I never thought of it before.
It's totally how she plays out in the game. Not necessarily in the books, but poor people. They're all just so messed up. It's like a really messed up group of the Avengers.
Is there any books or lore for the Lost Shores? Do we have like any background information?
There is.
What this is at all?
There's the Sea of Sorrows book that was supposed to be out like a year ago or something that is still not out. So maybe that relates.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not entirely certain. As far as we can tell, it's a brand new zone. So have you guys heard? Now they talked about the map being small to medium, so it's not going to be a full-sized map. So what do you think it might be on it, Coehl? What do you think they might throw on it?
I actually have no idea. Just from the little bit that I've read, the questions I have are, first of all, there's a dungeon on there that gets more difficult as you go deeper, right?
Actually, the dungeon isn't in the new zone. It's elsewhere.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
Like
just
I said,
related to the patch, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's an accompanying thing along with that island. And in that case, man, I don't even have any speculation about it. One of the questions I have, though, and maybe since you guys know more about this, the whole bubbles thing, people talking about bubbles.
Yes, bubbles.
Do you think this has to do with bubbles?
That was my guess.
Yeah.
Since they said, something stirs in the Sea of Sorrows, I'm like,
yeah.
Where else could Bubbles be? Unless he's just, chilling back, causing trouble for the Canthons. I'm like, oh, man, is this going to be another dragon? Are we going to get to fight it?
I think he's coming because we took... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
I think because we got rid of Zaitan, he's now feeling... Because that territory is now open, he's just creeping on in there. And can we call him something? I'm going to call him James Cameron because he's an underwater badass. So, just so you know. So anyway, James Cameron now... He's going to be I bet you he's going to be at least involved in this. I couldn't see us actually taking him out in this. He's an elder dragon, for God's sake.
Well, I don't know. All it took was hitting 2 really fast to kill Zaitan, so...
Please don't remind me of that extremely anticlimactic ending.
Giganticus Lupicus. No, that was a fight.
Giganticus Lupicus was harder than Zaitan. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now what do we do? This fight must be really intricate. Just fire the cannon for about 5 minutes over and over and should die eventually.
He's not gonna crash? Okay.
So there's no mechanic or anything? Or no, just fire away?
He's very theatrical, though.
That is true. Maybe we should make it clear to anyone who isn't aware who Bubbles is.
The Elder Dragon of the Ocean. Yes.
The one
possibly
that
also
was kind of retconned, and they said, okay, he just hasn't appeared yet. He's in the depths.
Doing something. Well, we know that he chased the Quaggan and the Largos closer to shore.
Yeah.
That's sort of been established. So we know that he's out there.
So there's Zaitan, Primordius, Kralkatorix, and Bubbles. Obviously the most threatening name of them all.
Well.
And Jormik.
I did say Primordius, right?
Jormog.
Oh.
And I also in the last episode, you guys mentioned that thing I talked about where there was a Sura NPC you could talk to who tells you about some discoveries about the 6, I think it was called the Swallowers or something, that cause a recurring cycle in this world. So it kind of leads you to believe it's the dragons. Anyway,
There's
you can
also-
go. The last episode, the comment that I left actually linked. No, it's in the description. I added it to the description of our last episode, so you can see that. You can actually see the picture. But so I think we're going to be looking at 6 by the end of all this.
So the question is, they've said the expansion packs are not all going to deal with dragons. So do you think that we'll just have 6 expansions or 5 expansions that deal specifically with dragons, or do you think that they're going to be, by the time we get to the next expansion pack, we will have killed all 6 of them?
Oh, that's a good question, because I mean, there's a lot more shit to fight. Like we've got Palawa Joko, and I mean, these are really strong entities themselves that will be fighting, I'm sure.
You got Pawala Joko, you've got the Canthan Emperor, who is super duper xenophobic. And
There's a lot to do, period.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in the world. They've
Guys,
definitely
yeah,
got a lot.
Materia's screwed up.
this game is only barely reaching 3 months old soon.
Yeah.
There's a long way to go.
So yeah, you could be right. This until the next expansion, we could be killing all 6 and then calling it. Anybody can disagree with me, that's fine. But 6 dragons.
Well, I think this will probably determine what we'll be doing until the next expansion. If this is a dragon, that means that it doesn't have to be a pay-for expansion to have another dragon. Technically, there might be 1 or 2 or whatever.
We could say,
But-
Bubbles was a mini dragon. That's why he stayed under so long.
They said that the world was going to permanently change, that things will permanently be different, kind of like the statue in Lion's Arch in the MMORPG interview that they did. And so I'm wondering if maybe, because Zaitan's technically been defeated lore-wise, will things change on the kind of ore part of the map, or
Please, less on
will yes, less mobs, please. As the I'm not a warrior, okay? I'm a necromancer. I can't do it.
Just be an engineer. That way you have permanent swiftness and dodge, and just kind of,
Dodge the whole
kind
way.
of, yep, all the way. Just kind of roppy dup dup dup.
I just AoE everything. I'm well spec, so I have it so that I can tank a lot of damage, and my wells also siphon life. So it's fun. But
Wait, what? They,
yeah,
what line is that? Is that blood?
That's blood and death magic with a little bit in soul. So okay, I'll go into my spec. But I have it so that it boosts wells and their cooldown, and so I just stack wells on top of each other, and anything that walks into it dies. So what I do is I just
do
run
love
through
wells.
a bunch of undead like a little girl, and then I stack all the wells down and put all my marks down. And since they swarm you anyways, it's really easy.
Go build cast. All right, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds like it.
Nice.
All right,
No,
so
that's cool.
See, I've been
everyone
avoiding.
go roll a necromancer now. It's
They're
so
pretty
cool.
awesome.
I have apparently
At
picked the wrong
Lost
profession.
Shores.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My necro, I've been trying to avoid blood because lore story, my RP wise, he's not a blood necro, he's a death necro, but it's so effective that I'm getting closer and closer. Like, I removed all my minions, even though he's a minion master, and then I was like, and I'm taking wells, and it's sad. I feel bad. Minions, why do you suck so much?
They do. They suck.
They're so bad.
Hopefully.
I had like a
Lost Shores
moment.
will-
Huh?
What?
Something about hopefully about the Lost Shores will make them useful?
No, I was just saying hopefully the Lost Shores won't suck.
Yeah. Oh. So, let's see. Where are we at?
We all lost it.
Yeah, we're like, what's going on? Oh no, bunny trail.
Our minds are.
We
our
hike
minds
back.
Are lost.
I know. I like talking about the necro because that's what I roll with, and I do thoroughly enjoy. But I've been fiddling actually with a condition build, stacking as much bleeds as possible, and that works pretty well. So, but that's a power focus spec too, which is interesting as opposed to precision because you want as much condition damage as possible, and conditions don't crit. So,
You guys see them posters around LA and whatnot?
I have. Those look pretty interesting, actually. Then, how they were translated pretty quickly, weren't they?
Yeah, like same day.
Same day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were. I was
Yeah.
watching the subreddit, and it was like the first day when I got on and I saw these whales, I'm like, what the piss? So I get in the game, and I'm walking around trying to figure out what's going on. Or, I'm sorry, I got on Reddit trying to figure out what's going on. And these guys are like with all these already translated posters. Like, geez, Lord mercy. So if, we're talking about us having lives, but I think we're doing pretty well comparatively. I think I just insulted somebody that did a really nice thing for the community.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Don't
Goodbye,
insult
everybody.
the people that can read New Crichton.
No kidding, we need them.
We also need the people. Have they translated the Zura language yet? Because I know it's out there.
No.
Okay, no one's figured
It's
that out
not that I
yet.
know of.
more cryptic than just a direct cipher.
Oh, nice. So it has like different grammatical structure as well.
I have no idea.
Because that would be awesome if they switched to like a Japanese or a Russian style grammatical structure. 'Cause
Once
that's
we
always
crack
fun
the
to do.
Assyrian calendar, we'll know the end of Tyria.
Exactly.
They are somewhat Mayan, aren't they?
Yes, you got that. Very good.
There you have it. You heard it here first, people.
It's the end of Tyria as we know it.
The Azura know when Battlefield Tyria Charmageddon Guild Wars 3 comes out, which is a first-person shooter, by the way.
From those translations of those posters, did you guys my attention span is just terrible lately. What did you learn from it? Because I learned nothing because I was too busy also paying attention to other things.
I hear things about giant sea monsters, and these posters are written in such a way that whoever did them, he probably knew someone would translate them, but they're not really supposed to make sense. Like here's like the first one: beware flesh-eating swarms. Lion's Arch authorities are diligently combating an unstoppable onslaught of flesh-eating swarms. We apologize for the inconvenience. All right, kind of normal.
Well,
Watch out!
could
Watch
it
out!
be,
Beware!
Could it be
Hold up.
hinting at new mobs, though?
Yeah, because it would have to be flesh-eating swarms. They can't even describe them. We're going to a brand new place. That's what I'm thinking. It could be dragon minions or underwater creatures coming from the depths. I don't know.
Bees.
But if you
My
read
vote's for the minions of Bubbles. We'll call them
Minions.
suds.
of columns,
The suds of the bubbles. Yes.
Nice.
the sons of the bubbles are coming. Further in the poster, it reads, "We ask that for your own safety to stand close and to let our professionals die horribly so that you may continue to live. If you rank yourself among the righteous, then by all means assist in the extermination process. We are certain that somewhere, someone, at some time will be grateful for your heroic, if not pointless, sacrifice."
Does this not sound like a Portal poster in a
Yeah.
way? Like even
Yeah.
their style reminded me a little bit of those.
That's true. They have that sort of stylistic
They-
stickman.
They've either been playing Portals or Borderlands 2.
Well,
That's the
Yeah.
kind of humor
They
that
definitely
reminds me
got
of.
some battle flavor in here. Here's another one. "Warning, dangerous sea monsters. Lion's Arch authorities kindly remind all visitors that sea monsters have rendered our beaches unsafe for the general public. Should you choose to ignore this warning, then upon your inevitable grisly demise, members of our local pirate population will ensure the fair division of your remaining worldly possessions."
now what's sad about that though is I saw that sign and I went up, I looked at it, and then I went to the beaches and there's like all these people just sort of sunbathing and stuff. I'm like, I think they lied to me.
Yeah.
But the whales!
Those poor
No, that's just
whales.
testimony to the illiteracy rate in Tyria currently. Queen of Prida seriously needs to step up the education.
I haven't seen a single school in Tyria. I've seen orphanages and all this other stuff, but there are no schools in Tyria. They're very big on like outdoor learning, so that's just, they go out in the fields and that's always getting interrupted by like a party of centaurs running through. So
Centaurs keep burning down all the schools. We're
oh,
not.
that's not true. There is the academy in Matrika Province, which is always interrupted by summoning of some horrific monstrosity.
Mhm.
Wait, let me read the end of the poster. Despite your potential horrible end, find comfort in the knowledge that you will soon no longer care, and that you will have made a generous contribution to those who, ironically, have more respect of the rules than you do.
That's one way to call the rule breakers.
So, could this be, they're gonna actually kill a whole bunch of botters using flesh-eating swarms?
Excellent
Oh,
idea.
oh,
Excellent idea.
Actually, that'd
Bravo.
be amazing.
Bravo. Every time botters happen, flesh-eating swarms just burrow up from the ground and devour them.
Speaking
Everyone
of
will
which,
be running fraps that day, and they're like, in case this actually happens, we want it. So you see all these botters, just follow them around. It's
all
gonna
of a
happen.
sudden,
Here you see wild botters in their environment. Now we're just waiting for the predator of the flesh-eating swarms to come and get them now.
so, speaking of bots, have we seen? I think we've seen a significant decrease in number of botters, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
The craziest place that I've been tracking it is that I've been buying up discarded garments on the auction house, and they've been going for about 40 or so. They've taken a 10 silver jump in the last over the last week.
Right.
Wait, not 10 silver, 10 copper jump. So it's 50.
Okay.
Shit, I was about to say.
If you have any of them, dude.
discarded garments.
I'm like, all right, cut, go, in-game, sell junk.
That's in the podcast now.
Yeah.
I gotta go farm me some whites.
Be organizing Occupy Trading Post.
So they've taken a 10 copper jump in price, which is still pretty significant.
Oh yeah, you're looking at 20%.
So that's how I've been tracking with the bots going down, because basically all the bots in ore are now almost gone, and so it's only normal people that are actually posting it and not the mindless Zerg.
I know they're going down because I look at my block list where I put every single bot I find, and I only see 10 bots online as opposed to 40.
Oh, that's a clever way to keep track of it.
Dude, and why would you call a botting firm GW2 Walmart?
I know.
I kept seeing that in chat. It's like, that's like the stupidest damn name you could choose for this. There's nothing cool about
Well,
that.
that's
It's
not
like,
a botting firm. That's a gold selling firm, which is.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And
Same,
I think
same difference. Who cares? We'll kill them all.
I think from what I've seen I've gone in and done some investigation into how the botting's working, and who all is botting, and I'm beginning to suspect that the vast majority of botters aren't necessarily gold sellers. They're actually players that are botting to get the advantage. I think a lot of the gold sellers are actually playing a character.
That's correct.
Because it's cheap. It's just, I mean, if you're paying someone, 25 cents per 10 gold or whatever they get in game, or whatever the rate is over in the various places where they have basically gold farming sweatshops. I think it's easier for them to have multiple people, and that results in a lower probability of them getting banned. So I think what we're actually looking at is not gold sellers, but cheaters.
Yeah.
No, I said I don't care. Kill them all.
Yeah, kill all the bots.
I just want to see a gold farming sweatshop now. I just want to see a bunch of 5-year-old and 7-year-old Asian kids just must make gold. No, I died. Please don't hit me again.
Actually,
probably
not
shouldn't
to
be
go on too
laughing
much
at
of a
this.
derail with this, but I did read an AMA on Reddit, so that's an Ask Me Anything, and it was a guy who is actually a gold farmer in China, and he was talking about how, look, we understand you don't like what we're doing and all this, but understand it from our point of view, which is it's either this, and then he went into the details of what else you could do that's like serious sweatshop stuff, and he's like, do you blame me? I don't mind, but, don't cuss me out. Just report me and let ArenaNet deal with it. So I thought that was kind of cool to give me some perspective on it. So now when I see them, I'm like, you're an inconvenience. On the other hand, if I die, or if I'm in the downstate in the middle of questing, you know how often somebody who's a legit player just goes running by and you're like, thanks, asshole. That was easy experience, but whatever, have a day. Whereas the bots, they always res you. And while it may be self-serving,
The bots are here to help.
Yeah, exactly.
Themselves.
Bots are here to help you.
The bots are here to help themselves.
It's true. Now, an interesting thing in the Lost Shores interview is they discussed quite a few different things, but one of the things that, and Colin Johansson during the interview often said, we're not working on this or we're not doing that. He was never really evasive with statements, and we will be getting the thing that you're crying about in a second, Skull. But the thing, one of the things that he never said we're not working on is he was asked point blank, are you working on 10-man type content or large group content? And he said, we aren't ready to talk about that right now.
Wasn't an outright refusal.
He did not say, go ahead.
He gave the most political answer that is humanly possible to give.
Which basically means that they've got a team working on it, but that they're not ready to give details. As far as I can tell. Or he was just like, haha, let's give people something to talk about this week, so I'm going to be evasive about this topic.
And it's Colin Johansson, so he's, of the people there, probably the most likely to troll our asses with a phrase like that.
Dang,
Maybe we shouldn't get too caught up
Yeah. He just smiled and, like, MMORPG forgot what they were doing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's a Mesmer Jedi Knight. He just smiles. He doesn't even have to do the hand wave thing.
Some Mesmer Jedi Knight? That is the most mind-blowing thing ever.
Fan art. Right now. I want to see it. Mesmer Jedi Knight fan art. Go.
Mesmer Jedi Knight Colin Johansson fan art.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a good Photoshop project. I might take it upon myself. Colin Johansson with butterflies all around him and like a pink lightsaber. Damn, that's going to be cool.
I'll see it. I will post that.
The hilt of the lightsaber has to be a butterfly wing. Just.
I will post that on Reddit, and I will upvote it with so many accounts.
Nice.
Speaking of bots, wait.
Let's jump back into that muck again.
Let's not.
Let's not. So, how do you guys, since he didn't say it, and I've been kind of interested in different ways, and I've kind of mentioned different ways that I think that ArenaNet could implement 10-man content. Since we've got some new people on here, what do you guys think about potential 10-man content in Guild Wars 2, or large group content?
I think it'd work great. We have cross-profession combos, for goodness sakes. They would have to design every boss fight to be a Giganticus Lupicus.
Yeah.
It would have to be that difficult.
That's true.
I thought he just said cross-profession compost. And
that's for necromancers and
Rangers. That's what I heard.
But I am on board with the Giganticus Lupicus. Like, that guy, let's go with that. That was a very good standard. We had a lot of... the first time I did it, no, I was cussing my head off. But, you know, when I was ready for it the next time around, that was some fun stuff. Especially running with Borks. Because we'd get stuck inside the bubble and have particles hitting us. The whole thing should have been one-shotting us completely. But we're two bunker spec guardians, and we're just like, got this, bitch. And we were good. And everybody thought we were heroes. At least I like to think that.
It is really nice to have a bunker spec when you're fighting Giganticus Lupicus.
Because he really is like a raid boss with only 5 people.
Speaking of which, I'm not sure how many people actually know about bunker specs. Could you give us some details on that, Cole?
I don't know if I know the specificity of it. I just know that people often tell me that I'm in a bunker spec. But it's basically capitalizing on the things that improve your survivability, your ability to mitigate damage. It's mostly just survival.
It's called bunker spec from its role in PvP. You're just sitting on a point, and there's no way anyone can remove you.
Okay. So I actually don't use it in PvP. I did try once, but I peeled one off of GW2codex.com, and it failed just miserably. I'm fine in World v World because you've actually got... It's the same spec that I'm using PvP.
It's not going to work much in like the 8v8 hot join stuff, but if you got yourself like a 5v5 tournament team, 2 bunker spec guardians, holding 2 separate points, they'd have to kill at least one of you before they can gain an advantage in points.
Yeah. I noticed something guardians tend to do though is they forget the conditions exist. So they'll make a bunker spec and they'll just get creamed with conditions, and it's like, what happened? Well, you're an idiot to start.
Doesn't your bunker spec supposed to incorporate condition removal, though?
A proper one would, yes.
And
It's just something I've seen in the videos. A lot of people will post to Reddit and they'll be like, "So watch how long I lasted here," and they're like, "Not a single person was applying conditions to you. You don't count." So, just thought I'd throw that out there. PSA.
It is what it is.
So,
Do you
yeah.
think we'll be seeing any of that 10-man content in the Lost Shores? Since Colin was like,
The thing is,
how long ago was the?
It was November 1st. So
Oh,
I don't think
probably
so. We
not.
won't be seeing it in Lost Shores, otherwise, unless they're like, "Boom! Look at that! We wanted this dungeon that we were talking about to surprise you, and it's 10-man." That would be interesting. But yeah, so I don't think we'll see it now with the dungeon that gets progressively harder that they've talked about. How do you think that will be implemented in the Lost Shores update? Because they do have
easy.
that.
I got this. You ever played Left 4 Dead?
Yes.
It's got the narrator. The narrator's in there. So like you'll hear doo doo doo, and all of a sudden this huge rush of them, and you're gonna be melee them back. You know, I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Go ahead.
What do you think,
Try-
Skull?
Try again.
What was interesting about the interview is that dungeon came up almost right after they were talking about after he beat around the bush for like 5 minutes about the 10 manners. And an endless dungeon that increases in difficulty, I think.
Wait, he said endless.
Well, not it's not
He
endless.
hinted.
Sorry.
He hinted that it would
he
be
hinted that it was
extremely long.
extremely difficult to get through. Like it. I mean, at first I was thinking, is this some kind of like bottomless Torchlight-esque dungeon of doom where the loot just gets better and better? But no, he said that there is a bottom. There's a bottom, so I'm sorry that I misspoke with the endless thing. But the 10-man thing came up before that, and a dungeon like that where it increases in difficulty, I think would have the potential to have a 5-man mode and a 10-man mode. And maybe they're trying to implement a 10-man mode for not only that, but maybe for other dungeons as well.
Maybe the 10-man mode is still being worked on, and they're only letting out the 5-man right now.
What if they're working on a 10-man mode for every dungeon that's there?
It makes sense.
There's certain dungeons where it'd be rough to have 10 men, I think, because the areas are built around a group that's 5-man sized.
You're not going to 10-man Codicus's Manor.
No. Oh, God.
No.
I can't see
Can you
something.
imagine that?
Get out of my way. Dude, no. All the particle effects.
It's a
Elementalist.
Clock tower all over again.
It's a little
Elemental-
crowded in here. I can't see myself. I'm in a sir. I'm having some trouble. Can someone please help me here? Can I sit on your shoulders, Sir Norton, sir?
LFG Codicus's men are 10-man to Zura group only. No elementalists or anyone with high amounts of particle effects.
No mesmers.
No elementalists, no mesmers, no guardians. I'm sorry, we just can't see what's going on. That would be... Wow, that would... We just go into the backyard and do the whole thing in 10-man. It would just be an Azura, like, airdropping stuff in Codicus's manor, and so we'd all be in one spot the entire time. It would just be different phase. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm still intrigued by the idea of how are they going to cause... Like, how's the progression of difficulty in this new dungeon actually going to work? Because, I mean, is it just they've decided that each, next boss is more and more difficult? Or is it actually going to scale up of how well you yourselves actually did? That's a little more involved as far as development goes, but I wouldn't put it past ArenaNet, really.
I think from the way the interview spoke, it sounds like the actual dungeon itself is going to be progressively... It's a set challenge through, but it is the hardest challenge that they built, so the numbers are going to be pretty high. So things are going to hit hard. You're going to have to use your evasions effectively. I think that if people have had issues with like Subject Alpha or Giganticus lupicus,
they're dead. Bye.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough. And I don't think that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying this seems like a step up from that.
Yeah.
What they said.
You have to
I'm
bring your A
excited.
game.
I'm a dungeon guy. Let's roll. I might be playing that dungeon before like any of the Lost Shores stuff, unless like completing the Lost Shore stuff is a prereq to get in the dungeon.
I believe it unlocks on Friday. Or no, on Saturday. It's unlocked as the story progresses, they said in the interview.
Sweet.
So you will have to do some of there will be some story before they unlock the actual dungeon. Which should be interesting. Now, do you think, Malchior, that they might go with something similar to the challenge mode missions in Guild Wars for this dungeon? And possibly follow that?
I don't... Well, the challenge mode... Yeah, it got progressively harder, but it was designed in a competitive format because you were aiming for a score. That they might use kind of that formula where they send... I don't know if you could call sending additionally more mobs at you a dungeon, though.
That's a good point. Did anyone else do the challenge missions in Guild Wars 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah, they were interesting, but
build right.
Could it almost be like more like a bunch of waves of mobs and then a boss and then a bunch of waves of mobs and a tougher boss or something like that?
Do you think people would be happy with... I mean, I'm not saying... This is not an argument against that being a possibility, but do you think people would enjoy that as much, where you're just standing there waiting for the next wave? I guess some of the challenge missions weren't really like that, though, because you were... It was like the same area. As an example, you had the one in the Realm of Torment where you were like running from portal to portal.
Yeah.
Something like that. It could get progressively more difficult in that way, where there's more going on. Like you run back to this area because, oh balls, we're getting attacked by something new over here.
Realm of Torment wasn't a challenge mission. It was just...
Well, there was the shadows.
What you're talking about? No, I know which one you're talking about. You're not talking about,
It's not the Domain of Anguish. It was the Realm of Torment challenge mission.
Yeah,
which was...
Yeah. That one was annoying.
That was, yeah.
But it was the easiest way to get your armor. That's true. The Rits did make life easier.
But bringing up the Domain of Anguish, that's a great way. It progressively got harder just in each area of it was designed differently.
Mm-hmm.
Groups who did not know how to run through the Stygian Maw got wrecked.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Stupid Stygian Maw.
I don't think I ever finished DOA in Guild Wars, actually. We never had anybody that knew how to prot right, so it got nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was the Glaive Way, which I never got to try, and Loudon offered. Should have taken that.
Glaive Way made it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should mess with that at some point. Well, I'm probably not going back to Guild Wars anytime soon.
Guild Wars 1 is still open.
It is.
I don't know, guys. I'll admit I miss Guild Wars oftentimes. This might be a controversial statement. Maybe we can make this something for a bar brawl later down the road, but I was more immersed in Guild Wars, and I think I figured out why. Guild Wars 2 kind of has a Minecraft biome thing going on, where like as you move across a map, it completely changes. And they're accounting for all the storylines that are going on per race and per order, and there's just so much stuff they're trying to fit in from this story into this. Where in Guild Wars, once you reach, say, the northern Shiver Peaks, you're going to be there for a while. You got that same music. I'm sure the music already comes to mind just by saying it. Same music, the same kind of feel, the same tone. And you're doing this for 2 or 3 hours, and it didn't become monotonous because it was so well done and all that. And I know I'm from Colorado, and I spend a lot of time outdoors. It really did. It felt immersive that you're out in the snowy mountains. I don't get that very much in Guild Wars 2. I'm getting jarred around it a little too much. So I just like to say I hope in the campaigns they start to go more in depth toward, fewer races and orders and conflicts to spread their content between. And instead...
I have to agree with you, but I feel it's the way the game had to be designed, one, in the way the MMO player base has changed over the years, and two, in the kind of content they were creating. The more stuff that's around to like just attract your attention. Guild Wars 2 is literally like the ultimate MMO for ADD people.
Yeah. Do you think that might be due to the fast travel?
Oh, look at that event. Oh, look at that gather node.
That you get the lack, that you have that lack of continuity. Because if you do Queensdale, Gandharan Fields, and that, or you do the Norn area, it's pretty consistent thematically.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, but even when someone did you a run to like Drox, for instance, that took a while for the runner to even do that, and it's partially because you had to take the right route to even get to the entrance to the next zone or explorable, so that you could then go forward. But I don't know, just from a cursory point of view, it seems every time I've run through a specific type of area, I could at max occupy my time being in that area if I just took a straight run for about 5 minutes. Where in Guild Wars 2, man, you're not getting out of the same type of zone in 5 minutes, no way. And that's also because
it was an instance they had to like you literally had to guide the player through walls and stuff and whatnot so you could occupy their time and keep their interest. Can you imagine if like none of the mountains or none of the walls barring you from each zone within the Northern Shiver Peaks, if those didn't exist, and you just could run straight?
Zip across. That's true. And I just realized something else that's probably contributing to this. I'm doing this live on air. It's pretty cool. The way the primary story progresses you in Guild Wars, it kept you in the same area dealing with the same, the dwarves. You dealt with them for quite a while. Then in Guild Wars 2, 1 minute you're in Lion's Arch, the next thing you're over here in Bloodtide, whatever, Coast.
That does bother me.
Also, the interesting thing about Guild Wars 1, the characters that you started the game with, they actually showed up at the end of the game. Just a subtle hint there, ArenaNet. They didn't keep them for... Well, okay, so they did keep them for 10 levels because there were only 20 levels. But, it's not like, here's this cool character. Yeah, we're going to kill this one. And this guy's mentioned his wife 3 times, so he's definitely red-shirted and dead.
But, you killed Togo, sure, but we liked that. You didn't kill Traherne. Okay, sorry.
Well, Togo was there for more than... That's a good point. Why? He should have given his life to save that. I was actually, when he was doing... Spoiler alert. When he was doing his thing at the end with the sword, I was like, yes, he's going to have to give his life to save Or. And then he was like, I survived, guys. I'm like, shoot.
Well, I was kind of going yes and no multiple times because I'm like, yes, he's going to give his life. I'm like, oh, great, it's an overused trope. But Traherne's probably going to die, but he's going to be remembered for all time. It was
oh, that's a good point. I did
pros and cons deal.
That's true, because I did remember thinking, when he started it, because he comes in and he's like all injured, and then he does his little laser thing, or whatever it was, his magic healing laser. I don't know. He's used a great sword laser. What class is he anyways? Because I've seen him use necro skills. I've seen him use mesmer skills.
He's a Mesmardian.
Necromezardian. Oh my
said
goodness.
At the same time.
Oh my god. Man, that's a portmanteau jinx if I've ever seen one. Well done.
Oh my god. Me and Ryan got some serious ESP going on here.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. So the only person who gets dual classing in Guild Wars 2 is their Mary Sue.
Tri-classing. Yeah.
He gets tri-classing. That is...
Necromezardian is pretty much the best class.
Yeah.
It really...
Mesmardian Mancer?
I can't wait for the expansion pack where he learns Meteor Shower.
There are 5 more dragons that can kill Traherne. So...
Yeah, please, yes,
hey,
make it happen.
The dragon didn't even get to kill Logan. I mean, seriously. Okay. So I'm not holding out hope. We'll see.
Yeah.
Such spoiler talk.
I know. That's what we do here. If you haven't finished the storyline or killed Zaitan...
It's been 3 months. Do it.
Yeah. Get around to that. Shh, what have you been doing? Living your life and
You should probably do that now. Like, today.
Before the Lost Shores come out.
Because then you have to kill Bubbles and his suds.
Speaking of Bubbles and his suds, I'm not actually sure how that's going to work as a linking sentence, but guild halls and player housing had an official statement, which was saddening because I've been talking about the amazing, absolutely, and this may be one reason why this is happening. Have you guys seen the video for Rift Storm Legion's housing?
No.
Go look that up. It's incredible. It's the most amazing player housing I've seen in a game.
As a cat operator, I can tell you those guys over at Tryon really got their stuff together for that. It was incredible. They even used like a UCS control thing. And we talked about this a little bit in the last episode, so I shouldn't go too much into it. But they've got the planes worked out. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was kind of wondering if I couldn't get that so I could do my job better.
Yeah, you should check it out. I'm not going to go into too much detail since this isn't a Rift show, but it looks amazing. And if they didn't have
the horse head.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, beware the horse. That was a very weird section of that video. It's on massively.com, actually. There's a video for it. It's 30 minutes long.
All right.
So they released this video, and now, what, a week and a half later, ArenaNet has said officially they have no one working on player housing or guild halls. No one.
Like, I am seriously sad that no one's even working it, and that Colin just flat out stated, yeah, forget about it for now. Not on our development schedule.
We might get it at some point, which, if we know anything for companies that use the soon TM statement, that means that
2 years minimum.
yeah.
Working as intended.
So I'm pretty disappointed. I love the guild halls in Guild Wars 1. And yeah, what do you think, Cole?
Yeah, this is something my friend Trevor and I used to talk about a lot. The guild halls in Guild Wars were part of the reason why we liked the game so much, because they had such a cool ambiance. The reason you went there was just to hang out. And I don't know, I guess that's a testament to the artists and the musicians, and namely Jeremy Soule, is that you could actually go there and we would just sit there and talk about nonsense, or just hanging out, being buddies. And this is something we were pretty sad about, because we're like, there's no guild halls in here. I don't know, like the stronger you can feel as a community in a game like this, the more longevity you add to the game itself. And that's why, for example, I really think they need like a calendar thing in this game. Like, you could make a forum and all that, but then people have to actually get off the game, or they're going to be at their computer, but they have to surf the web instead of. They just don't do that. Not as much. So if there's something in the game that you just pop open and you say, oh, we're doing dungeons on Friday night, I'd like to be there for that. I would love that. We could actually put something there that just says, as many people as you can gather, we do dungeons on Friday nights. I don't know, man. There could be more community fostering things in this game, I think. I guess that's what I'm getting at. And this Guild Halls is one of them.
Yeah. You were pretty sad about it, Scully. Were you sad about the guild halls or player housing?
I was more sad about the guild halls, just because whenever they've been implemented into a game, they've been like a huge boon to guilds, and they've been great gathering places. They lower the population in capital cities, and they make it easier for guild mates to come closer together. Part of the reason that I conjecture as to why maybe they're not working on it hard is because I feel like their focus in Guild Wars 1 was guilds as a community, whereas their focus in Guild Wars 2 is more the Guild Wars game server community. That's why the world is cut up into servers. That's why they have world events and not 10-man raids. They have 5-man dungeons, but they have these big world raids like Claw of Jormag, Tequatl the Sunless.
And if you don't get on Overflow, you will see the same people at all of those world raids every time.
Yeah, every single time. And it's kind of it brings your server together. You recognize some people after a while, after you've started running or pugging dungeons and stuff. You're like, oh, he's a good person to have. I'm glad I'm running this dungeon with him today, or whatever. And they have a lot of stuff. They have the structure that they need for guilds there, but I guess they don't have any plans for the hub, for the guild hall right now. So it's kind of sad for me, because they have like guild experience and stuff, and they could have like guild hall decorations and all this neat stuff, and it's just not something that they're working on right now. That's kind of sad to hear that it's not on their list. If they were like, well, it's not a priority, but we're looking into it, I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. There's other things that are more important. But the fact that they were just like, guild halls and player housing, that'll be like 7 expansions down the road. Don't get your hopes up kind of answer was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe he just flat out said, "We got no one looking at it right now. We got no resources prioritized to it. It's just, it's not even a thought in our minds." It blew me away.
Yeah, that's... Hopefully, they will get someone on that at some point, and hopefully it's... I know they had someone on it at one point, so that means that there has been work put into it, so hopefully they just put it on the back burner to get in-game and balance and stuff fixed.
God, here's
Cross our
hoping.
finger.
As far as community building goes, just to add a little side note, my wife and I were talking earlier, and I think one thing we want to start doing is pugging more. We have enough people to do guild runs, and it would be better for gaining influence. But one of the best ways to build a community is to just grab people at random or people that don't have a community yet and let them get together. And anyway, so my in-game name is Coehl, Coehl, as you can see on the little thing down there. I hope I'm pointing at it right, but I'm probably not. Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, if you pop in game and you're like, I would like to do dungeons for once. Dude, it doesn't matter if your gear sucks and all that. The dungeons are designed so that if we bring enough good people, you can pull someone through as long as they're not completely failed.
Yeah.
So toss us an in-game tell. I don't know if you guys are up for this too, but I am. So just private message me and just say, hey, I'd like to do a dungeon. I'm not asking you to join our guild. Nothing. And dungeons are cross-server, so just, you know, at random, add me and just let me know, and I will see if I can work you in.
Cool.
So,
On that, let's go ahead and we will move on to our next section. We'll talk about, we've got some pro tips and some PvP information coming up. Okay, so Coehl, you have a pro tip for us about when magic find takes effect. Can you go ahead and tell us about that?
Oh, I'd love to hear this. I have a full set of Magic Find gear. I want to know that it's worth it.
It is kind of. First of all, the big question that John Peters answered on the forums does not help on a chest at all. So don't switch your gear when you finally kill the boss or anything like that. It only works on things you kill. Now, when does the Magic Find stat actually kick in? Not when you engage it and not when you loot it, but when it dies. When it dies, the loot is determined right then and there. So that's pretty much the only thing you need to know. If you want to get the Magic Find effect on them, you should probably have it on when you engage the mob. But say you're in the middle of a fight and you're like, oh, balls, I don't have my Magic Find on. You can at least eat a piece of food or something. And that'll give you it. Then when it dies, you'll get a little more. So there you go. And that was from John Peters. So
Sweet.
he would be the liar if this is incorrect.
So what's your question, Skull?
Is there a soft or hard cap of any kind on Magic Find?
I don't know.
There is not. From the data mining that people have been doing on it, there's no hard... There is a cap, but it's just basically a functional cap of, I think, about 178 or 200%.
And that's hard to reach that.
That's full Magic Find gear,
That's like
maximized
gear
runes.
plus food, plus Sigil of Luck, plus
Yeah.
runes.
Yeah, and it's really hard to get to that.
I have
There
a
you
set
go.
that I put on, and it doesn't add nearly that much. And I notice a little bit of a difference. I just want to point out that when I'm wearing it, I call myself Snuggles the Moving Castle. That's mostly to get a laugh out of Spirit. Maybe I'll send a little screenshot to you you can throw in at post-production. Maybe
You
it'll
do
like
look
right here.
kind of like you should, because you do look like a castle.
It's pretty awesome. I could sell detergent in that stuff. There you go.
The Castle of Detergent.
Oh no.
So
There's
does it have to do with bubbles or suds of any kind?
So there's a new PvP map coming out with Lost Shore. What do we know about it? Does anyone
I have no idea.
has anyone
Just-
got any data on it at all aside from there's a new one?
In the interview, all they said is it's new and it's gonna be PvP, and it's gonna
That's
be
good.
based on it's in beta right now. They're releasing it, and if we like it, they'll keep it. So it's temporary. And
Maybe.
but if we like it, then they are considering putting it into the regular rotation.
So their
That's an
beta
awesome
testers.
idea.
That's an interesting way. Do you think that means that maybe their beta testers are divided?
It probably means they're pretty busy and have a lot of stuff to beta test.
That could be it.
But like maybe they
Yeah,
had an argument internally.
or they're using just kind of the player base as their beta test, because if it's designed to meet the needs and the desires of the SPVP hardcores who want it to be an esport, who better to get opinions from?
Exactly. They should do that. And a lot of people don't think they would because Blizzard and these guys never do that stuff, but it's a damn good idea.
That'll be interesting to see how that works out then. And we'll keep you viewers updated as we learn more about the map, which will be out in 5 days. I think. So there you go. Now here's an interesting question I have for you guys. This is our week's bar brawl. Servers. Do you think that they should keep them or if they should go to a district system like they have in Guild Wars?
Ooh. Well, that depends. Where's this guesting feature that they promised?
And that is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I've heard of a bunch of different things about why guesting isn't in. I think, and one of the things that I've been thinking is possibly it has to do with like the overflow servers and how people, when there's overflow servers, go and gather resources on those overflows. Like you can mine an orcalium ore like 4 times.
That too. And that might be the core reason. I'm trying to remember. Oh, God, I think it just had to be a forum post or something. The reason guesting servers aren't in now is because you could like just guest to a server over and over and over and farm like 1 orichalcum ore till you had a stack.
I don't think you can do that.
Well,
Because orichalcum can be on any...
Guest works.
The mining nodes are random. When you enter the zone, it... what am I... It's not set per server. It changes every day.
Okay.
And it's different on every server. So if you find an orichalcum ore node, you're just lucky. That was a mithril ore node at one point, and it probably will be tomorrow. And another one will be an orichalcum.
I will say that in ore, over the last 3 days, I have mined the same orichalcum ore location 3 days in a row. So there is...
I could be wrong. That's just my experience with that.
Orichalcum has its set spawn locations, but it randomizes... It's not necessarily a daily randomization. Most of the time it's when a server goes down and comes back up. That's when the orichalcum gets randomized. Or during the daily resets. Occasionally.
Could it randomize maybe weekly as the World v. World matches change?
It could do that as well.
I'm just trying to think about all the different kind of timers they got.
I've read what Scully said, but you know, as far as orichalcum goes, though, I pretty much have limited experience. I think I've gotten 3 nodes because I don't go.
Puzzle, jumping puzzle.
Yeah, that's where I get them.
I've never gotten it at the same place. Ever.
Me neither. No.
Jumping puzzle.
Which jumping puzzle?
EB.
Eternal Battleground.
Yeah, with its crazy rich vein.
I love that thing.
I love that vein so much.
Well, we'll leave you alone with the vein at some point.
Go.
Get a room with the vein.
That just happened.
So there's that. Do you think that would irreparably destroy the economy if that's the reason? And that's why they don't have guesting?
I couldn't say.
It would certainly reduce the cost of those things.
Would that be a problem? Now, would it destroy the economy? It depends on how many people did it.
It would, yeah. Well, that's true. It would certainly reduce the value of all of those upper-level ingredients. It would reduce the value of probably...
I'd be fine with that. I'm still working on my legendary.
I think that exotics would be ridiculously inexpensive as a result.
Yeah.
They'd
Yeah,
be more. I think they might be more in line with the max level Guild Wars 1 armor sets for difficulty to get, as opposed to the max level exotic armor sets in Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, I think the max level exotic, well, you say exotic armors
Fancy.
were harder to get anyway in Guild Wars 1. Like my exotic, maybe it's because I spent the whole time leveling and I just had all the crap I needed. And I got there also by maxing my armor smithing, so my Guardian was just like, cool, exotic set while I'm at it. And then I went to gw2armor.com, I believe it was, and looked at my other options, and I said, cool, the crafting set that I already have is the best. And then I pretty much gave up on trying to look cool.
Yeah, I agree. But I haven't given up on trying to have a cool weapon. I throw stuff in the forest to try and get my legendary and Charzuka, I'll take that. Spectral wave modulator, I'll take that.
Wait, what?
I got a Charzuka.
How did you get it? Wait, what? Like an actual weapon that looks like a Charzuka, like a rifle?
Yeah, it's on my Safari.
Oh my
It's a rifle skin.
Called Charzuka.
It's called Charzuka. It is giant.
Initiate jealousy.
And I only wish
my
I had
goodness.
made a Norn now, since I had found it.
It'd be bigger.
It'd be huge.
With Norns, everything is bigger.
I knew something was coming.
It's true.
How I Met Your Mother reference. Let me see how big your hands are.
Oh no!
So there has been an interesting talk, changing the subject aggressively. There has been talk of underflow servers in Guild Wars, where basically if you have a certain number of people, or like maybe there's 5 people from your server in like Caledon Forest or something, it will merge your server with like 5 other servers, so that now there's like 50 people in Caledon Forest, and so it'll take all the low pop areas and turn them into a high pop area.
That's interesting. I think that'd be cool if they could get it to work out.
Yeah.
I just don't know how low pop some stuff is. I mean, everything's low pop now because everyone's either at the beginning of the game making galts or at the end of the game farming.
Right. No, and that's
So
right.
I would love to see that, to repopulate the middle areas.
Now, the other way to fix that, obviously, is if you went from went to a serverless structure and just pure districting, you would just automatically have an underflow and overflow system built in. You just pick, okay, I want to go to 13, or...
I want to be high or I want to be alone.
Yeah.
Or I want to be both.
I want to be high and low.
I think there's some mushrooms in the Silvari starter area that can help you with that.
I'm in Colorado. Don't even ask.
Didn't they just...
Last Tuesday?
Hey, they did just legalize recreational.
Yes, they did. But I'll tell you this, Eric Holder is going to push back. Anyway.
Oh, that'll
But
be...
if you're from Colorado, don't, as the governor said, our governor said this, don't bust out the Cheetos and goldfish too quickly.
I heard that.
That was pretty
That was-
verbatim right there.
That was a great...
Oh.
He's a pretty cool governor. I got to give it to him.
So what do you think would happen to World versus World if servers went away? How do you think they'd go about actually making that work?
This is why I don't think they'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
They can.
So what if they created 3 factions?
Laws of their game.
Yeah. What if they...
Factions.
What if they not Guild Wars, Rift, because I'm going to keep referencing that for some reason this episode. Normally I
than
just
WoW.
reference
Go ahead.
WoW, but this episode I'm referencing Rift. Rift basically just changed their PvP structure to go from a 2-person to a 3-team PvP. And they allowed both of the original sides to join parties and guilds together. So you started with Rifts with Defiance and Guardians, and they were like, we hate each other for no apparent reason because we all have the same goals, but one person is religious and we're atheists, and so we're going to kill each other. Very real world-esque on some level. Anyways, so that was their thing. And then they said, oh no, we're throwing that out. You guys can all work together, you're friends now, but we're going to create these 3 new factions that anyone from either side can join, and that's going to be your PvP faction. And you go into PvP with that group.
That was a good call on their part.
Tryon is so freaking awesome.
So what if Guild Wars 2
but
did
I
that?
love Tryon so much.
They are rather clever. I think they're...
Welcome to the Rift podcast. We'll be all transferring over to the game soon, so...
They've got the
No,
player housing we
thank you.
want, the PvP, wait.
They had some good stuff, but Oh, the grind.
Too
That's
wowy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's what they
still
went
like
for.
Guild Wars.
The only reason I don't think they'll switch to district is because they have too many players to do that. And if they get rid of servers, they would have to do world v world, and maybe a kind of regional. Maybe they would do it in a regional way, how they did it before. It's like the warriors of the oceanic places are beating the North
Have
Americans.
held the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, there's just too many players, and the amount of players in each region are too unbalanced for that to work.
Yeah.
And
You would.
I
Would
think
you-
their system works too well for them to switch it so soon.
Yeah.
You know, once they get their campaigns coming out and stuff, we'll probably see a resurgence in the player base too, which is probably going to change stuff up again. And I doubt they're going to take too many drastic steps as far as World v World goes until they've been at this for long enough to see what the median is throughout like a year-long time frame.
My theory is if they do that, they would go to they'd keep it region locked. It would stay North America and that sort of thing. But you would get 3 factions in game. You'd choose the faction that you join, and then they would have, then based on your world versus world personal rating, like how often you go in, how many kills you get assigned like these levels of rankings. So you have like the A team that is made up of the best. You have like 3 different A teams, and it's made up of the best players that are almost always in world versus world and coordinated. Then you'd have your B team, and it would go down, and it would be almost like the ELO rating for arenas or League of Legends combat. Maybe, not sure if that would work.
We shall see. They already got their rating system for World v World.
Yeah, but
And
that's a
even the-
server-based rating system. If you remove servers, then you need a person-based rating system.
Oh God, that worked really weird.
I know.
I don't
probably
know
a
how
terrible
I
plan.
don't know how you could do that and keep guilds together, keep people who want to play together.
Yeah, that's the issue there. So, I think this bar brawl has answered that they probably need to keep servers.
Yeah.
And they
Indeed.
need to get stupid guesting in. Forget whatever technical difficulties they're having. Just make it work.
Please.
A stupid
Want-
amount of stupid guesting needs to be
Want to
asked.
play with
Frickin' stupid.
friends without losing other friends for a week, please.
Yes. Oh. All right. Let's go ahead and finish it off with a Wheel of Morality.
I got one.
Okay, Wheel
That
of
just sounds
Morality.
fantastic.
Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn, Coehl.
Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. Says Mark Twain.
Very nice.
Thank you, Mr. Twain.
I'm kind of new here. How does this section work? Besides, I love the Animaniacs.
If you have one, just throw it in there. Usually we get one person to cover it, so we don't look like dumbass. We're like, wheel of morality, turn, 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 and then so everyone's just kind of like,
Rubber,
you got it? Oh, balls. You know.
rubber duckies are cool.
You got one?
No, I'm just kidding.
Is it supposed to be a quote or just a lesson everyone should learn?
Go for it.
A ridiculous lesson that's probably not really useful is the best. But
All right, I got one.
All
Okay.
right, Wheel of Morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn, Malchior.
Don't try to outdrink a Norn, specifically when that Norn is with the Order of Whispers. Because I don't think your drink is going to be the same as his drink.
This is a wise lesson.
Heard it here first. That's our third pro tip for the episode. Man, we are just all informative this week.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Right.
This is a little scary for me.
I'm gonna title this episode "Relics of Ore Actually
Fine.
Informative."
Yeah, finally helpful.
Thank you all for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this show. If you have any questions, I wasn't actually gonna cuss, but hyphens, yay. It has been an absolute pleasure. This has been a great
Nice.
episode. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to do a mailbag at some point. So send it to us via either the comments section here or on the YouTube video or on our website. You can tweet us at Relics of Ore, or you can send us an email at relicsofore@gmail.com. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
In the shadows, I find a way, leading through the fields of night, far beyond the endless memories will stay.